Today I will be talking to you about State Bank of India, with which we all are very much familiar. It is State Bank of India which you will find even in Ladakh or in Kanyakumari. The branches are available everywhere. But we have seen a transition. If I talk about the history of State Bank of India, from Imperial Bank of India in the time of British government, it has transformed into the State Bank of India, the lock and key symbol with which we recognize, to today's SBI, which is having a different logo from the earlier one. How this transition has taken place, what role SBI is playing in our economy, and why it is important for us to know about State Bank of India. Let's talk about that. State Bank of India is the nation's largest and oldest bank, and in fact, if I talk about the big four in any industry, in banking sector, it is amongst the big four. It is the largest bank. Obviously, it has the topmost ranking in banking. State Bank of India is ranked number 217 globally in the year 2017, and it is amongst the Fortune 500 companies. State Bank of India is the 29th most reputed company in the world. Since Fortune 500 companies are measured in terms of wealth, the reputation is having a different criteria. On 30th April 1955, State Bank of India was formed, taking over the reign from the Imperial Bank of India. The Imperial Bank of India consists of old banks: Bank of Calcutta, Bank of Bombay, and Bank of Madras. The Government of India nationalized Imperial Bank of India in 1955, and since then we recognize Imperial Bank of India as State Bank of India. So no wonder when I say that the largest branch expansion, maximum value is available with State Bank of India. No doubt, because it is one of the oldest bank, the bank with which most of the Britishers and most of the old people banked. Before 2017, it was having its associates, which were earlier 7, now 5. State Bank of Bikaner in Jaipur, State Bank of Hyderabad, State Bank of Mysore, State Bank of Patiala, State Bank of Travancore. You may have already noticed that all these names represent a princely state in which SBI was operating, because the merger took time in the independent India for these princely states. But in 2017, even these subsidiaries, these associate banks, were merged and given a new status to State Bank of India. That is why it is a new logo which is represented now. If I talk about the function and facilities of State Bank of India, it is not at all different from the function and facilities of any of the commercial bank. It is doing almost the same function. The only difference is that State Bank of India is an agent of Reserve Bank of India, and the places where RBI is not having its offices, State Bank of India act as an agent of RBI. Now, the functions and facilities are divided. The central banking function, that means, as I said, RBI's agent firm, it is working as a banker to the government. That means all kind of government transactions are to be taken place without RBI's in the absence of RBI's office. It will be done by State Bank of India, Bankers Bank, Currency Chest. Wherever the RBI office is not there, in all those cases, Currency Chest are maintained by State Bank of India, and clearing house function. We have already discussed while talking about Reserve Bank of India that RBI facilitates the exchange of money and credit facility amongst the commercial banks themselves, which need some clearing house function. Already in 14 states, the RBI is having its clearing house function offices established, but the places where this office is not established by RBI, State Bank of India takes care of the clearing house function. Facilities: it provides personal banking facility, that means retail banking, where individual customers can go and open their account and avail all kinds of facilities related to deposits and lending from State Bank of India. Agriculture or rural banking, any kind of agriculture loan or any scheme which is launched by the government to support farmers and rural people, that is being facilitated by State Bank of India. Corporate banking, anybody who is dealing with industrial credit, the State Bank of India provide corporate banking, that means banking solution to the companies for corporate funding and assistance for providing different type of setting up of different type of businesses and other services. That means there are several other services in which bank act as my agent, like the getting my funds cleared from other country or other bank. All these services are provided by State Bank of India. So if I say that State Bank of India, the functions which are performed, the facilities which are offered are no different from the facilities which are offered by any other commercial bank. And recently, the one initiative which was launched just 2 years back, online SBI. Though we all are familiar with the online banking mode, and we all are familiar that most of the banks are offering their online banking facilities, online SBI is a proper noun, a brand which is established by State Bank of India, which is providing following services. Most of the services are known to us: e-ticketing, providing ticketing facility with just a click of the mouse; SBI e-tax, that means online I can file my tax in advance or at the time of the filing of the tax returns; bill payment with a standing instruction, all my bills are paid easily; fund transfer from one bank to another, from one branch to another, from the one country to another is easily facilitated by SBI; transaction inquiry, I don't need to go to the bank branch to inquire what my balance is, when my check was cleared. I easily get to know through that online banking. Easy trade at SBI, that is a facility of online trading provided by State Bank of India, which is facilitating my interference into the share market. If I want to see the performance there, I can easily do that with the SBI bank account. Demand draft, checkbook and account opening request, all that can be processed through online SBI. Not only SBI, most of the banks are now moving towards branchless banking, minimum manual interference, because it has been observed the more the manual interference, the more the greed is and more are the chances of scams. So just to minimize the human intervention, just to protect the people's money, they are working on the branchless banking and online SBI. So, State Bank of India, which is the topmost bank in India, also tainted by the biggest fraud in the banking, which was done by Mr. Vijay Mallya, because the consortium was led by SBI only, but still it is able to maintain its reputation and work for the interest of the general public. Thank you.